Hello, welcome to this webinar in our International Education and Schools Fair series. We're going to explore with Ellen Shustik, who heads up the charitable foundation Inner Wings, the importance of helping young children to develop a growth mindset, realise their unique potential and improve their public speaking skills in today's world of fast change, which can be intimidating and confusing, but is full of opportunity. Ellen, welcome.
Good morning. Thank you, Fiona, for having me.
Lovely to see you.
You too.
So you've had a wealth of experience, 20 years working in the fields of democracy and governance, international development and politics, and you've worked in international organisations around the world, and several years with the Liberal Party of Canada. And you're a Canadian.
I am.
So as a democracy practitioner, you've worked with political parties, parliament, civil society, and of course on women's political empowerment. You've got a master's in European studies and a master's in human rights law. And of course, you love living in London with your husband and your two young boys. So that's an international career that many of our community will relate to. You're currently the director for charitable foundation Inner Wings, whose mission is to build confidence in young children aged 6 to 12, and especially girls. So, Ellen, what drew you to Inner Wings?
Oh, well, thank you for the introduction, Fiona. That was great. I am, in fact, Canadian, also British, which is nice. I'm dual now. But as you mentioned, I've had a lot of different jobs in different countries around the world. But I think ultimately, I was always very interested and felt the importance of giving back. And to me, this job was very appealing because I've always felt very strongly about mentoring young children. And I've done a lot of mentoring, particularly with secondary school age girls, in terms of what opportunities are available to them and how it is so important to have that confidence to follow your dreams and whatever path that might take you in. And my path certainly has not been straightforward, but ultimately I think I was able to sort of get to where I am because of the confidence that was instilled in me through school and teachers and mentors along the way, but also learning how to build up that resilience and to really be able to go after what I wanted to. And I just felt, Inner Wings as a charitable foundation, that's our raison d'etre. It's all about giving young children those skills and tools on how to be confident, how to be resilient, and how to really follow their dreams and their own potential and do whatever they want to do one day.
Brilliant. And of course, we met at a school STEAM event just recently. So can you tell me a bit also about your charity's founder, who is a tech leader and the first CEO of SUS or SUSE, which is a global company in innovation and open source solutions. Tell us a bit about her and her link today, why she founded the charity.
So our two co-founders are Melissa Di Donato Roos, who, as you mentioned, is the first female CEO of SUSE, as well as her husband, Darren Roos, who's also CEO for a large tech company. And Melissa, in particular, had this vision for many years of starting a charitable foundation, which they've co-founded together. Pretty much exactly 2 years ago, Inner Wings was launched. And she had this vision of a charitable foundation that would work on confidence building in young children, so that age 6 to 12 bracket, with a particular focus on girls, acknowledging the fact that confidence levels do drop more significantly amongst girls, particularly in that age 8 to 14 range. They drop about 30%, so it's quite significant. And I think for her in particular, as a very rare female CEO in a male-dominated industry, she wanted to see children, all children, but particularly girls, have that confidence to, study STEM subjects, which are typically seen as for boys, and enter STEM industries and work their way up to leadership roles where, again, there are so few women. And I think her own lived experience and, where she has gotten to where she has as well sort of comes down to the confidence that she had and those role models around her. So I think for her, it was very important to sort of go in very early, and target younger children and give them those skills and tools earlier on and learn about developing a growth mindset, what makes us unique, why it's important to detach our value from external circumstances before things get more complicated in those secondary years, particularly with social media, and particularly for girls, again, with social media and body image and other sort of factors at play. So, she's an incredible, inspirational woman who, again, has made it, to a leadership level in a very male-dominated industry. And I think, her way of giving back is very much through this charitable foundation, that her and Darren are co-founders of. And also, they have a young daughter in this age range. So I think it's very personal to them. We're going to talk a little bit more about Melissa and how she's written some children's books with confidence building message. So she's really, she's not just talking the talk, she's walking the walk on this issue, which is really inspirational.
Yes, I quite agree. So this strapline or mission statement on your website, building the next generation of confident leaders, one child at a time, really resonates, and particularly, as you mentioned, for young girls. So, and how do you do that? How do you build this confidence? Tell us about your programs. I've spotted two, Finding Your Superpower and Finding Your Voice. So perhaps run through them and tell us the difference between the programs and why the children should attend.
Absolutely. So this is really, part of the outreach to schools. So what we do, the main focus of our work is we design confidence building programs for schools to deliver. So primary schools, we are currently in the UK only, but looking at expanding. So we started our programming just last year was our first academic year, and we already have more than 60 partner schools across the UK. We've trained over 200 teachers and more than 4,000 students are already participating in our programs. So the first program that we designed is called Finding Your Superpower. It's very much our foundational program where children start to think about the concept of confidence and where they get their confidence from. So it's, something that makes them feel amazing, feel confident, something that makes them unique. We call that their superpower. So they can start to, again, detach their value from external circumstances, like the test they don't do well on or the football match they lose, something that makes them that is theirs, that gives them that boost of confidence. So that being their superpower. The second program that we've designed and is the follow-on program in the series is called Finding Your Voice. And as its name suggests, is very much focused on public speaking, which we know causes every, age range, not just children, but it can cause a lot of anxiety. So this program really sort of helps children realize that they all have their own unique voice. They all have an authentic way to communicate, but it also gives them the skills and tools to identify that anxiety in their body and how to cope with it, going outside their comfort zone and giving them those strategies, and also just very practical tips and tricks on how to do public speaking, taking, deep breaths, pausing, eye contact. There's a lot of opportunity to practice. But what's really nice about these programs is that, they're incredibly easy to deliver for the teachers who are delivering them. So what we've done is we want to reach as many children as possible and have as much impact as possible. And we knew the best way to do that would be through schools, and to have our programs be free and accessible and inclusive and reach as many children as possible by having them delivered in schools as part of the curriculum. So in the UK, that's the PSHE curriculum. So the program is very much, tick boxes when it comes to social emotional skills and well-being, mental health. All the sessions end with mindfulness at the end. And particularly post-COVID, there has been so much demand for our programs. The programs are designed by our own very kind pro bono volunteers who themselves are former teachers, educational psychologists, life coaches, mentors. They design the programs. we package everything, put the resources together, and then we do the outreach with the schools. So we provide everything the school needs, like the resources, mainly the comprehensive handbook, which teachers use to deliver the programs. And, we also do an online training for all delivering staff. So we do everything remotely, which means we are very much able to work with international schools at this point, English speaking schools, because all of our resources are in English. But it's very easy for us to work with primary schools around the world because we can provide everything that's needed remotely, which is great. And the programs themselves, they're very fun. They're very interactive. Finding Your Superpower is 6 sessions, each about 45 minutes. Finding Your Voice is 8 sessions, also each about 45 minutes. And they follow a lovely structure. There's always a warm up and then a few activities that meet the objectives of that session, and ending with mindfulness. So there's a really nice consistency across the 2 programs. And I should also say we are currently in concept phase of our 3rd and final program. So our plan is to have a confidence building series that includes 3 programs that ideally will take children on a confidence building journey throughout an academic year. So that will hopefully be launched by next academic year.
Well, that's fantastic. So you're happy to hear from any schools around the world who would really like to deliver confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. If there are any, again, our target age is 6 to 12. We work with all types of schools. So, here in the UK, we work with state schools, private schools, all girls, all boys, coeducational. What's nice as well about our programs is they're very flexible and adaptable. So even though they're designed for entire classes, schools can use them however they want. So some schools will deliver to the entire school. Some will pick particular year groups. Some schools will deliver with smaller groups of children they feel need it the most. A lot of schools will deliver the programs with nurture groups. We now have some extracurricular settings that are delivering the programs. So again, they're very flexible, and because we provide the resources and the training, it's really very easy for schools to decide how they'd like to deliver.
Brilliant. And we've noticed a lot of reports coming out about mental health issues and anxiety with children post-COVID. And obviously you're picking up on that, I imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, we know from the NHS, they did a big report that, mental health has, deteriorated. I think it's 40%, 6 to 16-year-olds have suffered a deterioration of mental health in the last 5 years. And I think a lot of that, due to COVID as well. So, we are hearing across the board, from teachers that we speak to, the difference that they've seen since COVID and the lockdowns in terms of anxiety and children really struggling, feeling they can't do things before they've even tried, or if they can't do things, really emotionally melting down. Obviously, with lockdowns, there was a loss of collaborative learning. So children struggling with working in groups again. So I do think, the programs, they really sort of address these issues and are helping children, come out of their shells, feel more confident to raise their hands and speak, and more confident getting up in front of their class, in front of their school. So we are getting so much positive feedback on the impact the programs are having from the teachers that are delivering, whether that's they're telling us about particular students or groups of students. But I think there really is a big need for our programs, which is fantastic that we are filling that gap and meeting that demand.
And of course, I saw on your website that you've got parents' workshops too, so they might be available remotely from your website for an international audience.
That's right. So we did, and this is more through our partner schools. We had a partner school in South London actually request that we deliver a parent workshop during Mental Health Week. That was back in February. So we designed a parent workshop, and we do say to our parent schools that we're happy to deliver it to their parents if the school wants to organize that, as part of, maybe if they do things for Mental Health Week or Mental Health Days, that we are certainly, available to do that as well with our partner schools.
Mm-hmm. And other resources that people can dip into. Tell us a bit about the books.
Yeah, so Melissa's written 3 children's books, and they're right behind you. Thank you very much. We can do a little promotion. So she has written 3 books: the Magic Box, Kick Like a Girl, and the funnily titled How Do Mermaids Poo. They're all very much about having that confidence to dream big, to ask questions, to do things that may, seem scary or that you might be challenged on with stereotypes. So, for example, kick like a girl, as it would imply, girls who want to play football and are maybe deterred because they're told that's for boys. So, these are just lovely children's books with strong confidence building messages, particularly for girls. What's really nice is the proceeds are all reinvested into the charity so that we can keep delivering, we can keep offering our programs for free. They're all available through our website and on Amazon, but they really are lovely books. So it's something else that Melissa has done that is quite remarkable. Also, Inner Wings on our website, but we have our own YouTube channel. And our first program, Finding Your Superpower, it actually grew out of an online mini series that was done during the COVID 2021 lockdown. So it's 5 10-minute episodes on the Inner Wings YouTube channel, which is quite nice because it's something children can do at home with their parents, in their own time. But it very much, touches on all of that content that we have in the Finding Your Superpower program, which is great as well. So that's on our YouTube channel.
Brilliant. So some of those resources we'll share links with off our website at relocateglobal.com. So Ellen, thank you very much. That was a whistle-stop tour of all you offer. It sounds really perfect for today. And we wish you every success, and hopefully you'll come back and tell us about the next stage in the program.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that final program. But, for now, thank you so much for having me. And, if any schools, I know you're going to put up a slide, but if any schools are interested and want to get in touch, we can be reached at contact@innerwings.org. Also on our website, we have a big, button that says register your school. So it's very easy. You can just go through the website to register your school, and we'll get in touch on next steps to set up calls. But we are here and we're very happy to work with schools around the world.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much. So we encourage our parents to get in touch, as well as international schools, and of course the corporate employers who are no doubt also keenly interested in this topic. So thank you very much again.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time today. Thank you.
So thank you for Ellen Shustik, Head of Programs and External Relations at Inner Wings. And you can contact her and Inner Wings via the innerwings.org website. I'm Fiona Murchie, Managing Editor of Relocate Global and Think Global People, the multimedia. And we're delighted to have brought you this webinar as part of our Autumn International Education and Schools Fair series. Please do access the website for further resources, including our Guide to International Education and Schools, country guides, videos, education supplement, and of course sign up for our newsletters and digital magazine. Thank you very much for joining us.